In a quiet town surrounded by narrow streets and small houses, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was 27 years old. He had many dreams. Sometimes he imagined himself starting his own business. Sometimes he dreamed about traveling the world. Other times he thought about helping his parents live a better life. His mind was full of plans and ideas. But there was one problem. Ethan never started anything. Every time he thought about working toward his dreams, he found a reason not to begin. If someone asked him why he hadn't started yet, Ethan always had an answer ready. "I don't have enough money. I'm still waiting for the right time. I need better opportunities. I'm too tired today." These excuses slowly became part of his daily life. Days passed, weeks passed, and before Ethan realized it, years had gone by. While he kept waiting for the perfect moment, the world around him kept moving forward. His old classmates began building successful careers. Some started businesses. Some learned new skills and improved their lives. But Ethan remained exactly where he had always been. Not because he was lazy, not because he was incapable, but because he had become comfortable with excuses. One evening, Ethan was walking through a nearby park. The sky was slowly turning orange as the sun began to set. Children were playing. People were jogging along the path. Some were sitting on benches reading books. Ethan quietly sat down on an empty bench and watched everyone around him. For a moment, he felt something heavy in his heart. It was a strange feeling, a mix of regret and frustration. He realized that while everyone else seemed to be moving forward in life, he was still standing in the same place. Lost in his thoughts, he didn't notice an elderly man slowly walking toward the bench. The old man had gray hair, gentle eyes, and a calm smile. He sat beside Ethan and looked at him kindly. "You look troubled," he said softly. "Is something bothering you?" Ethan hesitated for a moment, but then he sighed. "Yes," he replied. "I have many dreams, but nothing in my life seems to change. I keep planning things, but somehow I never get started." The old man listened carefully. After a moment, he asked a simple question. "When was the last time you took a real step toward your dream?" Ethan opened his mouth to answer, but no words came out. He tried to remember. Days, weeks, months, but he couldn't think of anything. The old man noticed his silence and gently nodded. "I see," he said. Then the old man slowly stood up and motioned for Ethan to follow him. "Come with me," he said. "I want to show you something." Curious, Ethan stood up and followed him. They walked for a few minutes until they reached a small construction site. Workers were busy building a house. Some were carrying heavy bricks. Others were mixing cement. A few were carefully placing bricks on top of each other. The house was only halfway finished. The walls were incomplete. The roof had not yet been built. The old man pointed at the unfinished house and asked Ethan. "Tell me," he asked Ethan, "how do you think this house will be completed?" Ethan looked at the workers and replied, "Brick by brick." The old man smiled. "Exactly." Then he said something that Ethan would never forget. "This house will not be built in one day. It will not appear magically overnight. It will only exist because someone shows up every day and places one brick at a time." Ethan looked carefully at the workers again. They were sweating under the hot sun. Their work looked difficult, but they continued patiently, one brick after another. Then the old man turned toward Ethan and said, "Dreams are built the same way, brick by brick. But there is one thing that destroys dreams faster than failure. Ethan looked at him curiously. "What is it?" he asked. The old man answered calmly, "Excuses." The word echoed in Ethan's mind. Excuses. Suddenly, everything became clear. For years, Ethan had been waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for life to become easier. But the truth was simple. He had never truly started. Every time things felt difficult, he protected himself with excuses. The old man continued speaking. Most people think success comes from talent or luck, but success usually comes from something much simpler: consistency. People who succeed simply show up every day and place their brick. Ethan lowered his head. For the first time in years, he felt embarrassed by his own behavior. "I understand now," he said quietly. "But where should I begin?" The old man smiled gently. "Start small, but start today. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Just place the first brick." Those words stayed with Ethan long after the old man left. That night, Ethan went home and thought deeply about his life. He realized something important. Excuses had stolen years of his life, but they did not have to steal the future. So Ethan made a decision, a simple decision, but a powerful one. From that day forward, he would stop making excuses. The next morning, Ethan woke up earlier than usual. Instead of wasting time on distractions, he began working on a skill he had always wanted to learn. At first, it was difficult. Some days he felt tired. Some days he wanted to quit. But every time he felt like giving up, he remembered the unfinished house and the old man's words: "Dreams are built brick by brick." So Ethan kept going, one small step each day. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Slowly, his life began to change. He became more disciplined, more confident, more focused. His progress was not fast, but it was real. And real progress always matters more than perfect excuses. 1 year later, Ethan looked back at his life. He had learned new skills, he had started new opportunities, and most importantly, he had become a different person. All because of one simple moment, the day he stopped making excuses. And that day became the true beginning of his success. Because the truth is simple. Success does not belong to people who wait. It belongs to people who begin. So if you are listening to this story today, ask yourself one honest question. What excuse has been holding you back? And what would happen if today was the day you stopped using it? Because sometimes the biggest change in life begins with the smallest action. One step, one decision, one brick at a time.